So for dealing with the 12 volt for the van, we're gonna have the fuse box mounted right here, and just so that you're clear on where that's at, this is above the water heater underneath the kitchen basically. And to do that, we have 24 volt coming in on these two from the main house battery. We're going to use this little guy to switch it to 12 volt, and then we're going to have the 12 volt fuse box. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to actually put a piece of wood right here. You can see I've already drilled out the larger hole right here. I'm going to put a rib nut in there. That's how I'm going to actually attach the piece of wood. And then I will have the fuse box that I'll put right there, and I'll put the DC to DC converter right there. And then this spot is going to be where all the 12 volt for the van comes from. And I've started on that process. I'm getting ready to go cut the piece of wood that I'm going to use, and then I'll get the rib nut in there, and we'll be able to get these two guys mounted up and start getting the wires actually set up the way we need them to be. The wiring continues. I've basically been making cables, and I've got things mounted the way they need to go. This will connect right there, and then we've got a negative that's going to go from here and wrap around and come up and connect at that back post there, and the negative from the battery goes there as well, and then the positive from the 24 volt is going to connect right here. And then once I have those connections made, this actually isn't wired into the van battery yet. You can see over here I've got those two cables that are down there in the center, and those will get wired into that mess, and then we'll actually have 12 volt. We have this part of it wired up, and you can see that I've got the positive going over to here, positive from the batteries here, and for the negatives we've got both the negative here as well as the negative that goes up here connected to the DC to DC converter. Now, one thing that I will point out, the wire that we have coming from the 24 volt battery, which is this one and this guy back here, these are actually 8 gauge wire, because it's 24 volt. We're going to have a maximum of this is capable of 70 amps at 12 volts, and so you're going to have an average of 35 amps on this. Might surge to 40, so we're using 8 gauge there. For connecting the 12 volt thing though, these are 4 gauge wires, and so we have 4 gauge running to the appropriate spots on here, and that's because these are 70 amps continuous, surging to 85, and so it's important to properly size the wire. And links to all of these things will be in the description below, just so that you can pick them up on your own. I bought all of this stuff off Amazon, and so it makes it nice and convenient to have it available with Prime next day. So that's where we're at, and the next step will be to get these wired into the main electrical system, and then we'll actually have 12 volt. And I think what I'm going to do with the 12 volt first, just to know whether or not it works. You can see we've got these wires right here. We follow those up, they go to the fan. I haven't had a 12 volt fan yet for venting. I've got this 24 volt that is a marine fan, and I've been using it, but it'll be nice to have access to this guy. I don't even know if the thing works. It's been installed for months now, but I haven't had any 12 volt, so I'm thinking that that might be one of the first things that I actually get hooked up. Getting ready to connect these two wires for the 12 volt conversion, and they're going to get connected right here for the positive and right here for the negative. Now, before we do that though, we have to make sure that we have all sources of power turned off, which means that I turn this off right here, which turns off the battery, and I turn this off right here, which flips the breaker on the solar charge controller, bringing power in. So once I do those two, my two sources of power will be gone. Potentially there would be a third source of power, which would be coming in through the inverter charger, but I know that nothing is plugged into the charger right now, so I don't have to worry about that. But if I needed to worry about that, I would turn it off. There's a switch right back here that I would use for that. And with those three sources, there would be no power getting to any of this bus bar here. And so that would take care of it. But I know that all I have to worry about though is just the battery and solar, and then I can do whatever I want to in this area and not have to worry about anything being hot or live. Okay, we have the positive wired to this spot, we have the negative wired to that spot. We currently do not have any power, so we will turn the power on. And in theory, everything just kicked on. We'll turn the solar charge controller back on, so now that should be going. And you can see I've got my multimeter down here. We'll test this just to make sure that we're getting the 24 volts that we should. And this is basically super hard to do one-handed. Let me see if I can find a way to do this. Okay. So now, when I test this, see, get that on there and there, you can hopefully see that we're getting 26.3, which is 26.4, which is just perfect. So that's what we need there. So I'll put the cover back on that and we'll be done there. So in theory, that 26.3 is making it over to here. So let's just check a couple things here. Let's just go for the gold and see what we got. 13.2, that's exactly what we should have. So everything is working exactly the way it should. I really don't even need to check the Orion here because we know we're good. And we now have all the 12 volt power that we want right here. So this is a success. The only thing left to do is to start wiring up the various 12 volt loads that we have. So that's where we'll go next. We have this very first 12 volt circuit wired up. You can see that we have the red light there, which is exactly what we should have because that's indicating that the fuse is either blown or does not exist, and it doesn't right now. So this is for a ceiling fan, a vent fan. It pulls a maximum of 22 watts, which is like 2 amps. So I'm putting in a 5 amp fuse. Assuming I can get it in there. Okay, perfect. And the red light went away. And in theory, this little guy now has power. I have to figure out how to even turn it on because I've not done anything with it. So let's open that vent up a little bit. And then let's hit the power button. Look at that. Making a little bit of noise. I'm gonna hope that that's just because something's dragging, I don't really know. And in theory, so it's on speed 3, speed 2, speed 1. And then we can, in theory, even change the direction of it. So if we hit that, boom. So we now have a vent fan. And now it's just completely silent. Let's kick up the speed a little bit. It's on 3, it's on 4, it's got little lights over here. 5 and 6. Oh, that's going to be really useful. I like it a lot. I'm going to slow her back down to 1. And right now it's blowing in. And yeah, man, that can go really slow or really fast. I like that a lot. So I'm going to hit the button to have it switch speeds. and boom, there it switched. So this is an 11-inch fan. That's one of the things that makes it a little bit unique. The normal RV vent size is 14, but I didn't have that much space with the solar panels. And so as a result, I had space for 11 inches, but not 14. So I got this off Amazon. I'll put a link to it in the description down below. But it's working just perfectly. It's super quiet. On speed 1, you cannot even hear it. On speed 2, it's just background noise. On speed 3, you can start to hear it. Very quiet, very impressed. It's got a flange that goes around it, so it doesn't have to look like this. But the flange is not going in until the ceiling is on, so that the flange can then sit on top of that.